Well, one of the great men over many years, and great families in fact, the Gath family, but one of the really great men is George Gath. A man with an expert hand. He's retired now as a driver, of course, but a wonderful sense of humour as well. He's one of the real identities in trotting and pacing right throughout Australia, in fact in the world. And we're very pleased to welcome George to our program today with Bryan Martin.
Yes, Bill, I'm talking now with one of your old pals from years gone by, particularly at the showgrounds, and that's George Gath. George, it's great to see you again.
Terrific, Brian.
George Gath, you're the head of the Gath dynasty, really. Let's put the record straight. Who's driving and who's not in the Gath family now?
Oh, well, they barred me, you know. I was too good.
They barred you today.
Yeah, they brought in a rule that over 65 you wasn't allowed to drive.
Right.
But I plugged on under a permit system till I was 71, so they leaned to me a bit, but I told them that the steward had only given me what they owed me over the years. But anyhow, just at present, there's, of course, Neville's my older son, and then Brian's my younger son. Not that I had many sons in between, they're the only two. And Neville's two boys are driving now, that's Philip, and his third boy is David, and he's driving. So I've got plenty of interest, haven't I?
I noticed that the Gath family had a terrific weekend last weekend. You better put us right with the score.
Well, I might cheat a bit, if I'm allowed. Yeah, well, I better start from the start, because Philip went to Maryborough on the Friday afternoon, and he won the trot on Casino Lynn. And on Friday night, Neville won with Egg on a Stair, and Bryan won on the trotter, I think, wasn't it?
That's
Big
right,
Jake.
Big Jake, yeah.
And then they both went over, no, not the both of them, Philip and Bryan went to Adelaide to drive in an invitation contest, the Victorians against the South Australians. So Bryan drove two winners, and Philip drove one winner and a couple of places, but one of the winners that Bryan drove wasn't in the selected race, you know, what had got up for the contest. So Philip came home with a cup. He beat him. When they went into the last race, there was the Victorians and the South Australians with 58 points each. But Philip did win the last race by a head, and he got the money.
For Victoria.
Well, then, while the wife and I was listening in to him battle it out there, David, that's Neville's youngest this drive, and he won at 2 ranks. So the way I reckon it up, it was 7 in 2 days.
On Friday afternoon, Saturday,
Friday and Saturday, yes.
That's a marvellous record by the family. Now, looking back at George Gath's career, how many years did you actually drive?
Oh, I think about 55. I did start around about 1926. And they knocked me off in 78, I think. But anyhow, I drove for a hell of a long time.
Now, you drove in the days in the era of not only when they drove them the sulkies, but they also rode them too, didn't they?
Yes, I wasn't a bad rider either. I won a lot of races in saddle. I had been an ex-jockey up in the north of Victoria, and an unsuccessful one really, but I did ride a few galloping winners.
How's harness racing, how's it looking now in this 1980s?
But it's looking very good, and it's looking a lot better after today. I'm telling you that. It's terrific what you put on here.
Fantastic. Good on you, George. In conclusion, you got a tip for us a little bit later?
No, I haven't. I'd only lose our friendship. You blokes can get a bit nasty.
Not me, not me.
No.
Great to see you back at the harness track, particularly here at Moonee Valley. You're looking great,
it's
Petal.
terrific.
And keep good health.
I'll do that.
Good on you.
Thank you very much. Same to you.
Good on you. Thank you, George. George Gath we've been talking with. It's always a great pleasure to talk with him. Let's get back to Bill Collins.
There's a wonderful character, George. Wonderful reinsman too, and got a great trotting, pacing family.